Little daughter always says there are monsters under the bed. I don't believe her words and often reassure her by advising, "Sleep well, honey, there are no monsters, babe." Until one day, I was sleeping and heard screaming from my daughter's room. I quickly got up and ran to my daughter's room and turned on the light. My daughter was scared and trembling on the bed and said,
"There's a monster under my bed."
I checked around but still couldn't find anything. Then I decided to sleep with her. A moment later, I heard a squeaking sound coming from under the bed. I jumped up, looked under the bed in confusion, and immediately felt scared. After my best friend died, I returned home in grief. I looked sadly at our photo hanging on the wall. At this moment, a noise rang out. I turned around. I was so scared that I panicked. In front of me was my best friend, covered in blood. I was stunned, my mouth stammered.
"Why are you here?" I thought.
You thought you killed me, right?
I was shocked, standing still.
I must make...
Rachel loves her boyfriend very much. Rachel's boyfriend is a smart, kind and caring person. But because of disagreements, the two broke up. Rachel's boyfriend has a new lover. That makes Rachel upset. One night, Rachel's ex-boyfriend was walking home. Suddenly he was hit on the head. He fell down. His head bled and died on the spot. Then a man in a black cloak dragged his body away. The news reported that Rachel's ex-boyfriend was murdered along with CCTV recording the assassination process. Rachel calmly watched the news. Then Rachel turned off the TV and went to the wardrobe and opened it. Inside the wardrobe was Rachel's ex-boyfriend in a glass cabinet.
"You're mine."
Megan was very happy and excited, as the moment of meeting her beloved child was near. But things did not go as she planned. Like every day, Megan went to the toilet after dinner. Sitting on the toilet, she began to feel comfortable but full of pressure. Suddenly, a plop sound rang out, bringing a sense of relief. But as soon as she stood up to flush, fear struck. A cry rang out from under the toilet, lost in the water, and then disappeared. Megan collapsed beside the toilet, her heart filled with tears. The following days, Megan was immersed in despair. But one night, when sleep brought her into sweet dreams, a call rang out in the quiet space.
Mama!
Megan opened her eyes and was terrified. It's 3 a.m., and Stella is waiting for the elevator to go down to the first floor. At that moment, a patient walks up and stands next to her. Stella recognizes him as Bob from room 501. Bob steps in alongside Stella. The silence between them is thick. Stella turns to him and asks,
"Why are you out at this hour? You should be asleep by now."
But Bob didn't respond, leaving Stella with a puzzled expression on her face. Bob slowly stepped out of the elevator. Stella approached the reception desk with a puzzled expression and asked,
"Why is patient Bob wandering around in the middle of the night?"
The receptionist looked at Stella in confusion and said,
"Patient Bob passed away yesterday."
Stella looked bewildered. It's
Do this to make your first.
Sophia, a talented dancer, always found herself in second place behind Leonore. Burning with jealousy each time, she watched her rival take the top spot on the podium. One day while walking down a quiet street, she encountered an old woman. The mysterious figure offered Sophia a pair of red shoes, promising they were magical and would help her become the best. At first, the shoes seemed to work wonders. Sophia danced with newfound grace, effortlessly surpassing Leonore and finally claiming the first place trophy. But soon, the shoes refused to let her rest. Day and night, through sunshine and rain, Sophia danced uncontrollably, exhausted and terrified, sweat streaming down her face. She was powerless to stop. Eventually, Sophia vanished from the city. Days later, she was found lying lifeless in a distant forest. Beside her, the red shoes continued to dance, endlessly and without pause. Sophia, a talented dancer,